So I moved into a house in remote rural Ireland a little while ago, and it needs a lot of work on it. Uh, and that's, the job of the next year or two to try to turn it into a home. And a lot of that work is not enormously glamorous. Here's an example. The floors in the two downstairs, the kitchen and living room, they're concrete. Just plain concrete. They were never had anything done to them. Uh, That's really cold in the winter and it's pretty ugly. So lovely wooden floors. We're going to get lovely wooden floors. They're going to be wonderful. So we get the floor person to come in and a local business person. He's a really nice guy. And he says, yeah, we can do this, and looks at all the woods and find really nice looking wood to go down. And he said, but before you do any of that, you just need to get the floor leveled. It's sinking by a centimetre or two in that far corner. And my first reaction is, I don't want to get the floor leveled. You know what's going to happen if I get the floor leveled? Going to have to get all the furniture out. It's going to be there's not much furniture in there actually, but got to get the furniture out, got to clear everything out, get out the house for 24 hours while he comes in and he lays down the floor leveling stuff, waits for it to dry. And you know what? At the end of it, it's going to look no better than at the beginning. It's just going to look exactly the same, a concrete floor, but leveler. So what? I want my wooden floor down. If I'm going to go to that effort, I want it to look nice. I want to see a result. But of course, if I don't level the floor, it'll look lovely for a little while, and then a month later, the floor will crack and bend and warp and be ugly and useless. Or I'm painting a room. I've got this chosen a really lovely color, and I go, yeah, okay, cool. Let's make it into this color. It'll look wonderful when we get rid of all this darkness and bring some light into this room. But there's cracks in the plaster, there's holes and there's cracks, and there's places where it's actually loose on the wall. If I don't fix that, then all the new paint will just fall off. But I don't want to fix that because if I spend all this time, days and days cleaning and fixing and things like that, it's still going to look ugly afterwards. I want the nice shiny hit. I want it to look nice. But if I don't do the foundational work, it'll look lovely when I do the shiny object work, the stuff that makes a big transformation. It'll look lovely, but it won't last. It'll fall to pieces. My computer's really annoying me. I'm going to buy a new computer. Yeah, but if you don't learn how to use it, it's going to annoy me just as much as the old one. What I'm doing with my life really bothers me. I'm not happy. If you don't work on the mental discipline of being happy, of finding pleasure in what it is that needs to be done, then your new job and your new profession and your new activity is going to be just as unsatisfying after a little while as your old one. I'm always distracted. I want to be doing something different. You'll be distracted doing the different thing. When we work for change, people always want, I understand it, I do, the symbols, the surface level of change. I want to be doing something different, or I want to have something different. But actually, real change comes from learning to be different, to work on the foundations, not instead, but as well. I am going to get wooden flooring down, and it is going to look nice. But first, the foundational work must be done. The room will be painted. First, the foundational work must be done. I might change and start something entirely new in my life, but unless I do the foundational work on myself, nothing will change. Was it John Kabat-Zinn who said that no matter where I go, there I am? If you're dissatisfied and distracted and you decide to do something new, you know what? After a little while, you're going to be doing something new while being dissatisfied and distracted. We search for the shiny object, but we allow that to distract us from the unglamorous and essential work of looking at ourselves and making the necessary changes. The small group program that I'm putting together for this autumn has 3 words in the title: purpose, presence, pleasure. And people go, yeah, yeah, but what's the outcome going to be? What's the outcome going to be if I get more present? Well, I don't know. But I do know that it will enable you to engage in more depth and with greater authenticity in whatever you choose to do. It's foundational. Yeah, I can't be bothered thinking about my purpose. I want to do something new. Unless you know, have spent some time reflecting on your purpose, whatever you choose is as likely to be pointless as it is to be effective. You'll just be grabbing shiny objects. Pleasure, it's not about pleasure. Yes, it is about pleasure, unless you can find a way of accessing intrinsic motivation, doing things for the sheer love of doing them, even when they're tough as hell. Unless you can access that, when the going gets tough, you're going to be dissatisfied and looking to make another change. Bored now, shiny object, bored now, shiny object, bored now. And so life goes on, becoming more and more dissatisfying. Now, you see, if I don't get the floors fixed in the living room, if I don't get them leveled, in the end, all of that work to put the wood together is going to be not only wasted, it's going to be disastrous. The wood will crack and warp and bend. It will destroy itself. If we as individuals do not spend some time doing the foundational work, in the end, there is a limit to the number of shiny objects you can grab. In the end, you will destroy yourself at some level. If you're interested in this small group coaching program, just talk to me. It's I'm taking bookings now. It's about a third full, nearly half full, maybe slightly more, depending on what happens this morning. Talk to me because it starts pretty soon. Whatever you're doing today, spend a little bit of time paying attention, not to what you do, but to who you are. Not just doing, but being. The foundations matter. Shiny objects are shiny, but they need a strong foundation to stand on. Have a lovely day, my friend.